Well, I realized I never actually recorded an intro for this video, so yeah, it's quite a while later, but we're gonna get this video out. Yeah, today we're putting a new parachute on the old Nova, so stay tuned, let's get after it. If you're wondering what I'm talking about, this is what I'm talking about. Brand new, it's a Shroud 430. I think it's like a stock eliminator or something like that. Big old chute, kind of the biggest one for the single chute I could find. But the mount on the old car got destroyed. So we got some new tubing. I do have a little chunk here. It'll slides right over this. Like that. So this will be removable. Not that I'm going to remove it, it's just kind of the way the old one was set up. So what we're going to do is basically something like that, put some braces on it.
I love this plan. I'm excited to be a part of it. Let's do it.
And the old car was mounted to where the bumper mounts are. I'm probably going to do the same, and then support in the middle obviously. But yeah, so let's kind of get this thing set up. I got some 1/8 inch plate. We're gonna make some cardboard, templates, make some of those, and then start kind of fitting all this up. So, got a piece of cardboard here. What we're gonna do is kind of just line it up the best way we can, and we'll trim off kind of what we need, what we don't need. So like this here, I'm just gonna go up like that. You don't need that edge on there. Kind of maybe around this, make it look a little nicer. Bam. And on this side, same thing. Kind of around the edges, make it look a little bit decent, right? Ain't got to be a show car, but it needs to fit. So, got that bad boy there, and then this side should be the same, just opposite. So yeah. Now what we'll do is we'll take a Sharpie. We'll mark it from the back side. That'll give us where the holes are at. And actually, we don't even need to do that. We can do that when we get the actual metal up here. Mark the metal and then drill it out. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead, cut these out real quick, and we'll be right back. Got these mounted. The bolts are just temporary. I'm going to have to go get some good grade 8 bolts for it. What I did is I marked kind of somewhat center on these. I eyeballed it about where I want the tubes to land, so kind of center of each plate. What I wanted to do was I wanted to just weld this sucker straight to the plate, but the problem is I can't get bolts in it that way. Bolts are not gonna, I could go up here, won't be as strong I don't think. I don't know. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna measure this to that. We're going to give it probably another 1/2 inch. Basically, we'll measure here to here, add 1 inch, and then that should put the tube kind of roughly where we want it. And then we'll make 2 little tiny standoffs and push this pipe out just a little bit so we can get bolts and stuff in there. So I'm going to go ahead and make those real quick. I'm going to cut everything up, and then we can start fitting stuff. And then what we'll do is we'll tack it in place and then build this part. Take it all off, and then use the big welder and final weld everything. Put it back on. That's kind of my plan. Is it going to work? I don't know. Probably not. But that's what we're doing. So let's get to it. We got this thing kind of made. Oh boy. Well, the cuts were not super even. Probably should have cut that with the chop saw. So we're going to grind a little bit of this off real quick. Alright, so I got nothing but my hands. So what we're going to do, oh man, this is going to be challenging. One about right there. Damn it. Okay, let's try this again. I'll get this figured out one day. It just doesn't, maybe it's just the plates messing with me. Because the car's level, I do know that. Car's level. And that's level. So, we're going to put a couple little welds around this bad boy. Just make sure it doesn't go nowhere. And then, I know it's not 100% flat, but what we're going to do is, once I re-weld these, I'm going to probably put some extra support gussets on it. So, it'll be plenty strong, it just won't be perfect. Now that that's not going anywhere, it's moving the whole car. So, now we can move on to this bad boy. So we want to land it about center of what, somewhere right in there. Something like that. We're going to have to kind of eyeball some of this, and then, yeah, I don't know. I want to tack it all, make sure everything's going to fit before we final weld it. When we final weld it, I'll use my big welder and, you know, weld the hell out of it. So, yeah, just cut 2 inches off this bad boy, and then, yeah, go from there, I guess. All right, so we got this made. It's notched. Obviously, this is different size tubing, so the notch is not going to fit 100%. But what we're going to do, let's give it our best shot, and then we're going to just plate the hell out of it. So that needs to be about right there. It's off just about a 16th, but that'll be all right for what we're doing. So let's add a couple decent little tacks. Make sure this doesn't go nowhere. Now that we got that on there, this slides right in here, like so. But like I said, I don't like the way where that's at. That's also pretty far behind the car. So we're going to hack this tube off, clean this up. Yeah, we're going to cut this off. We're going to cut this and shorten this a little bit so that this is almost bottomed out in that. That'll kind of bring this closer to the car. I think that'll be our best bet. Because it does have a bolt so you can take it in and out. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. We get this thing chucked up in the vise, kind of cut it up a little bit, and then go from there. All right, as you can see, it's all cleaned up, no more welds on there. Part of me wanted to just weld this thing right to this car, but which, I mean, I don't really see why it would hurt. Just would be nice to take the chute off if I have to replace it again or something like that. So for now, because I am going to probably end up changing this mount later on. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do is just cut this right at the bend. I think is what I'm going to do. Cut this right at the bend. That'll put it kind of like that. It won't be up here in outer space, but it'll look decent. It'll be kind of underneath the trunk line. So I'm thinking that's the route we're going to take. All right, now that's cut. Moment of truth. Something like that. It's really be easier with this damn thing off of here. What I should have done is pack this thing full of a blanket or something. Get an idea where this is all going to sit. Yeah, I think that'll work, Chief. So now I'm going to go ahead and put another tack on here so this thing doesn't move while I'm taking it off. And then we'll walk over there and use the big welder and hook all this stuff up. So we got all that stuff welded up. The reason I like using this is a 220 welder. It just melts things a lot nicer. Actually gets a good weld. So what we're going to do now is I have a chunk of angle iron I'm going to weld to the back of the car. Right, that's going to be our whatchamacallit, kind of middle support. So what I want to do is build a triangle shaped support that overhangs about that far so I can bolt that to the piece we weld to the car. And then same thing on the bottom, not bolt it, but just make a nice gusset. I want to gusset those corners to the plates, and this thing should be very, very stout that way. Should have no issues with it bending or flexing or anything when the chute comes out. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that stuff out real quick, and then we're going to weld that stuff on, and the mount will be pretty much done. I still got to weld this sucker up, and then all we're going to do is drill a new hole through it for a bolt, and that'll be it. The chute will be mounted, and then we'll go ahead and start working on changing the pack out. Guys, so we got each end boxed in. It looks a little bad at the moment. Got those basically just made, you know, whatever design you want to call that. Burned it on the inside, all the edges. Same thing on the bottom. Bottom had a little bit of a gap, so I couldn't do the back. So I just welded kind of that to the tube there. That side's all, you know, it's not perfect, but this will give us something to bolt that other one to. Same thing with the side. Plated, both sides. This is significantly overkill, I think, but I'd rather it be strong than not. So we're going to go get this thing bolted up in the car and go from there. So it's the next day. We got the bar all painted up. Same thing with the old chute holder. Look what the old FedEx man dropped off. Got some new meats for this bad boy. So tomorrow, go get the tires mounted and then throw those on. But for now, we're going to work on throwing this bad boy back on. See if we can get all this stuff bolted up. Everything kind of ready to rock and roll. So I bought a bunch of grade 8 hardware. We're going to use some fancy new stuff. Because, you know, going fast, you need some strength. Slow down. We don't need the parachute ripping the old rear of the bolts right through the car. That'd be no bueno. So we're gonna. It's just kind of difficult, actually. Not as bad though now that we got the lift. Makes us significantly easier. So the reason I built this thing to have an overhang, right, so that we could put this on it like that, right? Now, my overhang's not quite enough, I don't think, actually. Isn't that awesome? Or no, I had it backwards. I lied. Bingo. Like that. So, we're gonna weld that puppy right there to the car. Bzz. And to put 2 bolts through it, because I still want to be able to take it off for whatever reason. But we're going to do this just as another support, so when it's yanking, when the chute comes out and it yanks on the car, it's not just bowing this like that. You know what I mean? So that's why I did that. We'll have a little bit extra support. I don't really think it's going to need it, but I'd rather it be too strong than find out that it wasn't strong enough. Because if you're pulling the chutes out, hopefully it's because the run's done, not because you absolutely need it. Stuff's getting expensive now. This was 35 bucks for hardware. Now, I did screw up and I bought it at Ace, but still, $35 for hardware? Man, people think I'm made of money, man. Holy cow. 35 bucks. I was still, I almost didn't buy them. I almost just walked out. I said, no, we don't need to be using old fender bolts and stuff like that. We need to buy some good stuff. that's all bolted up now, obviously. You might be wondering why I did it this way with a bumper mount. Is I actually have a fiberglass bumper for this car. It goes. In hindsight, I probably should have waited to paint this because I got to weld little square tabs on here to rivet that sucker to. But on the old car, that got pretty banged up and broke, so I got to fix all the fiberglass before we do that. So for now, this is how we're gonna rock it. We'll do the nice. I shouldn't say nice. I should say we're gonna do the mount. Look at that. That's perfect. Do the mount for that, and I probably should have cleaned the body up first before I weld or put this on, but it'll be all right. We'll clean it all up, make it look good. Weld that in, bolt that sucker on there, and yeah, that's about all we're gonna do on that. Throw some paint on that when it's all done. Ooh, let's put the chute mount in it, see what it looks like. Give a little side view action. Look at that bad boy. The reason I wanted this bag lower, right, is I do plan on putting a wing on this car, and I would like it to clear the chute. Now, having said that, we might have to move it out a little bit or something. I'm not sure yet. I'm not going to have a wing on it for the first test and tune racing setup we're doing. So for now, I just needed to have the chute on it. We'll have to worry about all that other stuff later. So this is where we're going to be for now. We'll get the new chute unwrapped, put a bolt through this, kind of finish up what we're doing here. Put the new pack on it, run the cable, get all this stuff situated so we can send her flying. So I got to kind of work on exactly where I want it mounted in there. I think I'm going to have it on the driver loop, but we'll see. So, all right, let's get after it. Let's get this thing back together. So we got a problema with this one. Is the fact that the chute is complete. It's all whoop. If all else fails, read instructions before packing. Well, so I think what we're going to do is obviously this is the string to pack it, right? How does that? We're going to just take this nail out, right? RIP, guys. If it goes south, hits me in the face, you'll know what happened. Oh, come on, baby. Grenade pin. Hold. I'm just trying not to get... Yeah, that was actually a lot easier than the old one was to take out. Interesting. We're going to just pull that like that. We're just going to leave all of that in one piece. Okay? And I want this baby like that. Oh, this is going to be super easy. It's already got the plate in there. So all we got to do is drill some holes. Or put the other plate in there. Drill some holes. Drill it, bolt the damn thing on. Good to go. Easy money. Sorry for the choppy video. Last clip was me packing the chute. We did get the chute mounted. Bars are all in. Obviously this is all done. Car's on the trailer. We just took it to a car show. But we got the cable ran through the car. It's kind of just laying in there right now. And then I have the handle mounted kind of up here. It's just temporary right now. I'm not sure that's exactly where I want it. Just want to do kind of a quick outro for this. So yeah, parachute's done. I have not tested it yet. I guess we'll make a short when it rips off back the car. But for right now, this is where we're at. I got a house remodel going on, so we've been slam busy with other stuff besides race cars. But we are nearing the end of that. Back to race cars here pretty soon. So stay tuned. Hopefully I'll be kicking some more videos out shortly. So appreciate you guys staying around. Catch you in the next one.